All right. Good afternoon. It's Tyrell Datweather with Hill Productions here at Chinook Winds Casino and Resort in Lincoln City, Oregon for the Pacific Northwest APA Regional 8-ball tournament. We got some weekender Scotch going on. Had a couple uncommentated matches streaming earlier, but we're in the booth now.
In it for the long haul.
Yeah, got my buddy Cliff here to help me out this week. This is what, day 4? We got a skill level 9 versus skill level 7 matchup that is going to be race to 3 for Just Cut It and a race to 2 for Lazy Taters. We got our chat moderator out there, Nicole Denisi.
Probably be focusing on our own tournament right now.
Yeah. Was it 5:30 and under up there at Scratch and in Fife?
Fife.
All right, let's see. We got the players' names here somewhere. So we got Just Cut It. We've got Leroy and Brandy Davidson versus the Lazy Taters, made up of Ashley Hancock and Tiffany Orr. As I mentioned, this is an APA regional event, so this using the APA League rules.
Solid break.
Skill levels are they use what called the equalizer handicap system. Theory being anybody can play, anybody can win. So regardless of the matchup, that dictates the race.
Seems to work out pretty well.
Yep. Yeah. So we're playing 8-ball. Rules are a little forgiving for 8-ball.
Except for the break.
Except for the break. If you scratch, it's ball in hand in the kitchen. You make the 8, it's a win. You make the 8 scratch, it's a loss. And you take what you make. Unless you make one of each, and then the table is open until you make balls of an individual suit. And it's slop. Generally, players are playing for a pocket, but if one of their object balls goes in any pocket, they keep shooting up until the 8-ball, which they must mark their pocket for the 8-ball with a little totem called a pocket marker.
It's like Inception.
I'd like to see people just spin a little gyroscope next to the pocket when they mark it. So we're streaming on YouTube. There is a chat function built into YouTube, so if you're on your phone or on your laptop, you can jump in there and give a shout out.
Come say hi.
Yep. Also, it's hard to monitor because when we were doing the no commentary, people didn't like the silence, so I did turn on the mic on one of the cameras for the ambient noise sound. If that is competing with our commentary, please let me know. I can turn that back down or off. Probably down, so when we mic up, it's not disturbingly quiet. I might just adjust it down a little bit here. Since it very clearly picks up all the announcements over the PA system, calling tables, calling matches.
I like the way they really get into the names when they announce it.
Right.
Pronounce it in the way it was intended.
Yeah. Well, Dave was having real fun with it yesterday.
Yes, he was. A little too much.
Up at the control center. safety here. Expect to see the skill levels that we've got here, probably a fair amount of conservative safety play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, go out and share the stream link, Facebook or with your friends, your pool playing friends, enemies, family. Get the word out that there is a free stream running through tomorrow. We're going to be here for the long haul tonight.
Double trouble two. And shot 30 is 29, double two, and shot 30.
So they,
29.
they started with a 128 Scotch, Weekender Scotch board this morning. APA uses a modified single elimination format, so you're guaranteed to play 2 matches. You can lose 1 match in either the first or second round and still be in. After that, any loss regardless, and you are out.
That's some tough action right there.
Yeah. So this is running alongside a 3-person team event that started yesterday. They had the qualifying round flights yesterday to get into a 64 board.
Was that 64 board? That's single elimination.
No, that is also.
That's also modified.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe. I can go look at the bracket, but I'm pretty sure every board they use is always modified single.
Makes sense.
So yeah, they had about 170 something teams that qualified into a 64 board yesterday. So that's going on as well as the Lincoln City Open, which began today, an open tournament using world standardized 8-ball rules. 2,000 added to that event.
Well, pretty good.
Yeah. I think I heard them announce they got about 100 players for that. So
100 on the dot.
So we got a lot of pool players in this room today.
Is there something going on tonight?
Probably minis.
Minis?
Oh, and Tournament of the Pool Gods at some point too.
Yeah.
That gets rowdy.
That's fun.
So all kinds of crazy things happening here. But yeah, we'll be here for the long haul. They are going to play this Weekender Scotch all the way out today to the final, which from experience usually happens at about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I apologize for no commentary earlier, but it makes for a real long day, and I don't like to use all the good words up too soon.
Yeah. Pretty tired there. Last couple nights I've gone. Get back to the hotel room and straight to bed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We weren't here too super late the first night. I mean, probably midnight or so. But we also drove in that day, set up, and I went to a concert the night before I left town, so that didn't help. But yeah, then we were here till almost 3 o'clock in the morning for early bird Scotch on Thursday.
Yeah.
Got off pretty easy yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was
the final. We thought we were gonna have one more match to stream, but they got assigned to tables about 15 minutes before our last match wrapped. So go to dinner, get a good night's sleep in, and now we're gonna crank it for 10 to 12 hours.
Let's do it.
All right, the table's still looking pretty messy here. Let's see, the lazy Taters have gotten ball in hand.
Probably just another safety here.
Yeah, I mean, you could run into the 1 and 6 here, but there's no guarantee in what you're going to have afterwards.
Nope.
That cue ball is probably going to slide back to the middle and underneath that cluster of solids in the 8 ball.
And that 8 ball only goes in the. If it goes anywhere, it only goes over the side. That's
Yep.
It is tough.
I mean, that's actually the outcome's not terrible
Yep.
considering that it hung up. I think she was actually trying to make it.
Yeah, I think so. Which could have worked out. Kind of tough here. I can't see where that 8 ball's pointed at.
Yeah, I can't quite tell how it's on. Oh, jeez, somebody bumping the light all over the place. Apologize for the seagull cam bouncing around. We do have the lights mounted on the Littman lights of the adjacent tables with the best angle, but those are on a interesting scaffolding hanging from the ceiling. So if anybody bumps a light down the row, all the lights start moving around. Pretty good story. The first year we were out here trying to do the finals on Sunday, and Rob Anderson was out on the scissor lift because they had most of the room tore down. He started trying to take lights down on the scaffolding that I have the foot camera on.
Uh-huh.
It was like bouncing. It's at Summerfield to go make him stop. And he's like, oh. And so he had slightly unhooked one of the lights and then walked away, and the light collapsed, just dropped onto one of the tables down the line. Whoops. It's like we're going to get a ref here.
Not as much yelling as there was the first day.
Yeah, it's been a little more muted. Like even what was it? Was it the finals when they were trying to get a ref and there was nobody in here? Like just yell it out. Yes, it is.
31. Just add alcohol.
Wow, she almost made a good hit and almost drilled that ball. Good effort there. I believe that is Ashley. I got the names when they first got here with the sheet, and their opponents were a little late. So I do apologize if I've mixed Ashley and Tiffany up since I first introduced myself. Just gonna take their ball out of the pocket. So as long as you don't go straight into this stack of balls, you just clip the 2 on either side, I think good things happen for you if you pot the ball. As long as you don't roll it too soft,
Mm-hmm.
You agree with me?
Yup.
Because the 8 ball is going to move off that stack of balls a little bit. And your cue ball is going to deflect to either the left or the right side. 11 ball is kind of sitting out in there in the open.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the 8 ball doesn't roll up and stick to the 11 ball.
Looks like it's pointed right at it, or go off the 11 into the side pocket.
All right, well, we're still going to have to figure the 8 ball out.
Yeah, 8 ball. It's not anyone's friend right now.
I mean, you could go, you could shoot into the side and gamble. I don't like shooting it down in the corner. I will play it safe.
Wait, you cut it in and break everything up.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, but got to make sure you make the ball.
That was a good effort, though.
Oh, I agree.
I think that was the right shot.
Yeah, it's tricky because your mind is in 2 places: pocketing the ball and breaking the 8 ball, and
Good
it's
enough.
easy to get too focused on one and not both. And
Yeah, I like just treating it like every other shot. I try to recognize that.
trust your line.
Yeah.
Pick where you're hitting the ball, where you're hitting the cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust that line, and after and then line up to make the ball.
Don't focus on what the cue ball's gonna do. Focus on making the shot.
Apparently, Nicole says the same thing happened to Raw when Evo was taking down their cameras while he was trying to stream finals.
Brian Williams, are you in the room? We need Brian Williams at table 59. Brian Williams, table 59.
All right. Just top on this. Should be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a scratch here. Oh.
Pockets have been cruel at times.
We've had a lot of those.
It was a little 50-50 the first day for singles, and then we had really bad humidity from the rain on Thursday.
More people in the room.
Yeah, and then the number of people has increased over because it's nice out now the last few days, but the number of people in the room has drastically increased. Pockets have played a little sticky if you're not going straight in.
So the 7-ball here is a little awkward.
I mean, you could come across the table and get behind it and play the combo. I mean, I don't like playing a combo unless you have to. The angle here is funny because doesn't really give you a shot on the 7-ball unless you go all the way up table and then come all the way back into that zone between the 7 and the right hand rail here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can roll it out and try and bank it. Well, I was thinking bank it into the lower left pocket, but now I think we're looking at maybe a bank into the upper right.
Yep. Yeah, I may have tried to run into it there.
Run into the 7-ball?
Yeah.
Just seems sort of steep to get over there. Like, you really would have had to spin it. And
From looking at it,
it wasn't as bad.
It wasn't that bad. Oh, what a shot.
No.
Their team name just cut it.
I was about to say, he defied the mantra of the team.
Yeah. It's blasphemy.
Yeah. Well, Taters missed out on a big opportunity there to immediately be on the hill.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a pretty good attempt on that 8-ball too.
Yeah, just wiggled and stood up in the pocket. Well, as I mentioned, Lincoln City Open started today. I will try and track down that bracket on Digital Pool, and I'll throw it in the chat. There's two streams going on. They're both the same thing. It's just one is nonstop. It's just we fired it up, and it will go all day nonstop, and then the other one is just labeled by the team names, matchup, and that starts and stops per match.
How handy.
So if you're on the team one and want to be on the all-day one so you don't have to keep finding the stream, I'd go switch over now. If you go to the live listing for the channel, there should be two. Look for the one that just says day 4, Weekender Scotch.
Posted the bracket in our group thread. Or I could post it in the YouTube's.
Right. All right. So as you mentioned, you are what you make on the break. Looks like there is a solid down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just a solid. So just cut it. Has no option but to shoot solid balls here.
Ooh.
I think I mentioned if you can share the stream, get the word out, get people in the know. They can come watch and subscribe to the channel. Get notified when I go live for these APA events, as well as the Northwest Women's Pool Association tour, which I'll be doing this year as well. We've got about 7 stops, which those are very fun. I get to tune in and check out some of the best players in the Pacific Northwest, stretching, reaching all the way up to Canada, and it's not limited to women from the Pacific Northwest. Anybody can come out, but the tour, the venues are all Pacific Northwest. Okay, and the majority of the players are Pacific Northwest. It's fun. We had Sophia Mast, one of the up-and-coming juniors from Florida, come play one of the stops 2 years ago.
That's pretty cool.
She won it.
Good for her.
Not bad for, I think she was what, 14 or 15 at the time?
Yep.
Yeah, I think she was just under 600 at the time, and now she's like almost a 660.
Scotch double check.
If you're familiar with the Fargo rating system.
We're talking beers too. Side Q, Delic, Dim 32.
As far as the non-league related rating systems, it's kind of the de facto one these days for pool at the amateur and pro level. Nope, Nicole's match got called, so good luck, Nicole.
Don Ness, Neil Ott on field 1. Then Gerard Beats and Connor Sarah on table number 3.
There's a Betty in the chat.
Connor
Oh yeah, I saw it and I forgot to mention that she OLA'd.
Hola, Betty. Fellow pool commentator. Betty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did the little dance tournament.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't recall this.
You don't?
Was I there?
I'm pretty sure you
Was
were streaming it.
Was it with me?
Yes.
Oof. All right.
It's a little side pocket bank shot.
Yeah, she did well to roll up, stick it to their balls, onto their stripes as well. So, all Brandy's gonna have a look at is this 4 across the table, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't think she has the 5.
Over the bank.
Yeah, almost made it.
Almost made it. Unfortunate scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's try to check see if that 9, 10, 12 did anything, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, she didn't really commentate about pool. All she did was talk about sandwiches. I remember that now.
Sure you do.
You know, sandwiches. Show was that where that was like a euphemism for smoking marijuana?
How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, right.
Yeah, only have half the pocket on that one. Barely missed it.
Yeah, we did start the day with sandwiches on Thursday.
We did.
We had a taco party today, though.
Taco party today.
I've already eaten 5 tacos today.
It's true. Man, I'm already getting hungry.
You're already hungry again?
Yeah.
You just ate those tacos like 30 minutes ago.
Ooh, baby tacos.
And the string of balls on the right side rails.
Putting a hamper on
Yeah,
anything.
well, it's just really a disadvantage for the lazy taters.
Yeah.
It's going to be really difficult to deal with.
But
And there's not a lot going here with these 2 balls.
they might deal with it right now. Because you just play into the 9. Maybe get that 12 to block the 4 ball. So, and it just went right back to.
Oh, where's check that one off.
Lost and found.
Lost and found.
I think that was the first one.
That was like one of the first ones that ever happened.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I did this summer. All right, so what we've been lost and found, tech support, mini tournament desk, general tournament desk.
I haven't kept track of those. I think mini happened twice, maybe.
At least twice.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it happened more than that. I feel like I pointed at the mini desk maybe 4 to 5 times. I will say,
The Scotch double match to call here. Team Cookies and Cream. Bourbon and Scotch. Table 26.
cookies and cream, bourbon and scotch. Sounds like a wonderful night.
Yeah. Do that later.
Table 26.
Anyways, before they started calling that table, I was going to say it's amazing to me how many people walk up, and we've got these big old puffy headset ear, you know, the ear covers on the headsets are real big and puffy, mic in our face, and it's amazing how many people walk up and just start talking to you, and you're like, what?
What?
Feel like I need to get a third headset that's just right there at the edge of the table and just point at it instead of muting up and like I'm like, hey, join the stream. What's your question?
Yeah, hop on it. We got an extra headset for you. Yeah, hit those 3 stripes earlier, and then they all just went back to the same
I
spot.
was just about to say what a bummer if like that was the outcome.
Yeah.
'Cause it was a conscious attempt to, you know, at least try and do something with them, and then
It's just like, now we're gonna hang out still.
we're buddies.
Yeah.
Like, don't send us away.
There we go. I guess they got into an argument.
Hmm?
I guess they got into an argument.
Who did?
The balls.
Oh.
Don't want to hang out anymore.
Sorry, it's just thinking to myself the way it's going that Rob Blanding has really got the advantage on that break and run bet we have in the book.
Yep. Tough cut down the rail. Giving the Taters a little chance here.
Yeah, I'm still a little surprised. I was really worried if we made the 8-ball break call that we hugely underestimated how many there would be, and somehow there's only been one.
And we're not even sure if it counts. Oh wait, no wait. There was one.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was not here for that.
Okay, so technically there was two, but one is like, does that like count against the previous one because it was a loss? We got all the heavy hitting analytics.
Yeah. There's the tough questions that we
Yeah.
answer here. That count?
Yeah.
Jen is a great side there. And we got he decided to give 20% off on those Sterling ponytail covers. Now's a good time to go over there and check out her artwork. She does a beautiful job. 20% off of ponytail covers.
Yeah, I imagine you can hear John Blue in the background there, promoting one of the vendors in the room. We do have, what's the count of vendors they've got for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 6 vendors in the room.
Barnard,
Well, that'd be a good match.
Scott Barnard, and Brad.
Who is it? Scott Bernard and Martin?
Martin Rag.
Martin Rag?
Yeah.
No, that would be a good match. What table?
11?
That's not too far away.
I didn't pay attention to that. I stopped listening. Oh.
Wood wrap. He's got wooden block markers, $10 each. Acrylic block markers, $6 each. He's giving 20% off of one.
Roy not taking any time, taking a look at this problem by the rail here.
Yeah, I think he's going for the make. Yeah, it looks like it.
Flowers, 25.
You could play it safe there.
Doesn't go on the side? I thought you said he's going for the bank. Did you say the make?
Safe. Are you going for the make? Yes.
Sorry, my headset sounded like you said bank. I'm like, he's got a clear look at the side.
You cutting this ball?
Yeah.
Cutting it with that side? Hey, nice.
Just trickles it in. Think he's got to look at the.
Looks like got plenty of room from my angle.
You kind of got to control the outcome, though.
Like this.
Ooh, that worked out really well. I was afraid that 7 was going to come kind of down. Not the first, second diamond. Middle of the table there. This should make for a decent transition down to the 5 ball. Gonna come up short though, I think.
Just a little soft.
Yeah.
Gonna buy a rifle in another bank.
I mean, he's 1 for 1 so far.
Yeah.
on ball before the 8 ball. Yep. A little bit of a stretch. I have to grab the bridge.
Increases the difficulty a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. Just a little long.
Everyone's played it at a good speed too.
Yeah, he just caught that left side rail a little too, much before the pocket. Table was a little slippy. Probably would have slid in. Well, actually, I feel like you got to fire a little harder speed than that for it to slide on the rail. That high up, at least. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows how pool works?
It's a mystery.
I don't.
Trying to help. On it, trying to help. On 27.
I mean, we were talking about that Billy Thorpe bank the other day. That thing defies physics.
It really does.
Scotch. You're on table 24.
Glenn Curtis and Smallwood Mintz to table 17. Glenn Curtis, Smallwood Mintz, table 7.
You mark it? He's just checking.
I was about to pull an Evan Smelser. Line it up like 5 times and make it look like you're not going to mark it. Or just set your pocket marker right next to you on the table so your whole team's like, why are you lining up down there when you
What are you doing?
then moving it at the very last second. Pretty good. Oh.
Rimmed out. Oh, I think their opponents reminded him to mark it.
Well, that was very sportsmanlike of them.
Yeah, because he said thank you. And
I saw him say something. I was wondering. So yeah, I would also venture to guess, like you, that they must have said something about it.
That's what pool is all about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse when you're playing somebody who's a real stickler. It's like you knew exactly what I was doing. You knew exactly what you were doing by not saying anything until afterwards, you know. And I've seen it happen. And I've told somebody that they were a turd. I'm like, I understand it's the rules, but
Yeah, come on. Nice shot.
all right. Just want to make sure you control the cue ball here. Don't let it go. Like weirdly above the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think just slow and simple.
Just kind of jabbed at it a
Little
little bit, I
jabby.
think. Yeah. I love that they changed the view because she was kind of blocking, and then of course I switched the other camera, and some dude's head walks like immediately right in the way.
Like, hey guys. Ooh.
Yeah, that was weird. I was kind of looking at her lineup there, and it looked like it was a little. She was undercutting it a little bit just on the lineup.
But left it a little funky.
Yeah, it's a little thin chip shot, isn't it?
Ugh.
And that kind of goes. Well, I guess it depends how you hit it. You could unintentionally end up on this left-hand side of the table, underneath the 8 ball instead of. Every time I switch the camera, somebody sticks their head in those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a stretch for Tiffany. I think she's getting the bridge out.
Yeah.
Drew on third card, and.
Easy for me as a lefty.
Well, I forgot to tell you when I got here, there was a match that just ended, and I walked up here, and these two guys look at me. It's like, oh, thank God we weren't on the stream.
Classic.
I was like, that bad, huh?
Yeah.
All right, she hit it good. It's on the right side of the table, but yeah, that's what it's talking about. If you ever hit that, that line tracks back to the left-hand
Yeah.
side
I
there.
think it's not quite ball and jaws there, but
It's about.
no, I'm at the last ball.
Yeah, no, I know, but I was about to say, looking across this 8 ball, for reference, it's about 3/4 of an inch off the rail. Gotta be careful. You gotta make sure you don't hit it too thin and scratch in this lower left. You also want to make sure you don't hit it too thick and chunk it into the rail.
Yeah.
Might be too soft.
Ooh.
Sorry, Dan. Dan, 7.
Oh, Dan Louie. I saw Stan.
I saw Dan. Saw Randy.
Yeah, I've seen Randy floating around. Oh, he's right there. This. All right, just cut it. Gonna steal another 8 ball away from
Yep.
Lazy Taters. So yeah, you gotta say that, with the handicap, it's fairly evenly matched here. Both teams getting to the 8 ball. Well, once again, shout out to Chinook Winds Casino and Resort here in Lincoln City, Oregon, hosting us in their big old conference room area upstairs.
Brooklyn actually came out.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go home and go to bed when he gets here.
What?
But yeah, thanks to Chinook Winds for their sponsorship and being a gracious host. We got, like I said, upstairs in the conference room area, we got 64 pool tables packed in here, 6 vendors, main tournament podium desk, mini tournament desk, streaming podium. Sorry, 7 vendors. I forgot Margaret's hiding over here to my left.
Right next to you.
Yeah. We got a bar set up in here. So, nobody's going to deny APA players don't like to have a good time.
Dry break?
But the question is, did he sign up for the Open?
No. That started
No, I know.
an hour and a half ago. No, 2 hours ago.
I mean, signups stopped 2 hours ago. I think it
Oh.
only started about an hour ago. Hour and a half ago, maybe.
Double and 4 of Foster. Table 4. Following tomorrow, for classes, table 4.
You're not really gonna leave me with him, are you?
No, I'll be back. I'll kick him out.
It's fine. I'm mostly joking.
Yeah.
Play the 6 into the side off the 10. It looks like.
Yeah, good touch.
Yeah, it was nice speed. That way you're not sending the 10 blasting into other stuff. And
Yeah. Kind of tough here.
oh, I guess I should move my bags. We got this third chair for Dingbat to hang out with us up here.
Oh, they played 5 times a day.
Playing remainder, table 13. Playing remainder, table 13.
Might have been nice to have made that there 7 ball.
Oh, look at that. Zach made us an Inception pocket marker.
I know what weird timing that was.
I know, right? It's like he was listening.
Oh, that's an unfortunate roll there.
That's a tough one to swallow.
I don't even know if we can see anything.
It does not, from my angle, definitely not. All right. Oh, Linksy open. Final count: 103 players.
It was 100 when I.
Yeah, I heard them. Wow. I heard them say 102.
I'm sticking myself on everything.
Oh, did you make it?
Well, if I'd known Berkman was actually coming, I could have played in the open. Or one of us could have played in the open.
Yeah, my shoulder hurts. I can't play right now. Getting a sweet Berkman massage right now.
Nice.
Loosening me up. I will let Brickman take over for me for a little bit.
Get that head out of the camera there.
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
I hear you.
Cool, 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 cool.
Well,
Man, why is everybody in a casino today? It is so nice outside.
because they signed up for a pool tournament, like a bunch of I don't know, pool players.
Yeah, my whole drive out here, just now, I was like, it's so nice out. I should go for a hike.
And yet you still parked and came up here to see
Yeah,
us.
immediately. I didn't even look at the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that you were actually going to come, and I saw your comment in our group thread. I'm like, I said from where, I meant to where. So I was like, because I asked Cliff if you were actually coming. He's like, no, there's no way. And of course, you get here. I'm like, well, crap. I could have signed up for the open if I'd known you were coming.
Oh.
Put you to work.
I'm not gonna be here that long.
I figured. Well, appreciate you coming out to see us.
What match is going on right now?
So we've got Scotch doubles going on today. There's a 3-person team event, but pretty much all they're gonna send over here are Scotch matches because they just kind of they go a little bit faster.
Yeah, that parking lot's full. Like,
Yeah.
really full.
Yeah. Yeah, there was so there's 103 players in the open. There's 128 teams for Scotch, so that's double that. 256 players. And then you've got 64 3-man teams, so 128 plus another 64. So almost 200 players there, 3. So yeah, about 500 plus players lingering around. Probably a little bit fewer now because there's probably been a couple teams that have reached the elimination stage. I don't know. It's Cliff's scribble notes, our betting book. I don't know. The number of points that we've acquired for being right about something that somebody was going to do,
I see.
which has been highly contested sometimes with whether or not anybody gets a point or not. To reach the climax of where basically we both have veto powers. It's like, well, I guess we just call it. What's it at? He's like, well, you're up 6-3, so.
You really know how the mind of a APA player works then.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's interesting trying to, commentate some of the matches just because there's a variance of levels and having to take that into account. Not
Yeah.
just always be like, well, this is how we would stupidly try and run it out and probably sell it out regardless.
Yeah. There's like 2 differences. There's like the thought process difference, and then there's also the
Well, there's the
just like the shot that
Well,
you can shoot difference.
Yeah, there's the execution and knowledge, that's the experience is different for every player.
Yeah.
And at their level, because you can have, it's interesting, you can have a very defensive minded player who's a 5 who just knows how to win racks, as opposed to another 5 who plays 1 safety every 4 racks, but just, man, fires the ball in from everywhere, regardless of where
Yeah.
they left themselves. definitely been smoked by a player like that once or twice in an APA match.
And. Take the exits and. You are off till 6 o'clock.
But yeah, the Scotch is nice because it's generally a fairly short race, so like we kind of crank through matches for the most part.
Yeah, I was surprised the I was watching last night, and the pace of them was pretty nice. Like that didn't seem like the waits in between matches were very long, which was
Now, the only big hiccup we had was Scotch doubles on Thursday night because one side of the bracket, um, the team that played in the final got through to the final and they were ready to play around 10-15 or so. Like they were in that position, but had to wait for 3 more matches prior to that. So they had one. I was
like
like
6 hours of.
well, yeah, like the final didn't start till like 12:50, but then they didn't want to put back-to-back matches on the same table for making sure that certain team didn't like roll through because they were just playing on the same table over and over. But they didn't really communicate that to me, so they just assigned it thinking there was one more match, but there's actually 2 more matches, and then they assigned the next one. By the time I found out, I was like, I can point the camera at 2 other tables over here. So had that conversation to make sure that doesn't happen again tonight. Is yeah, it's like you got these people that were looking forward to playing the final on the streams, their parents and their friends can watch.
Yeah, it's always so cool to get on the stream.
And so then I'm like, well, I can't leave, but you've also put me in a position where me and Cliff are just up here, like,
Yeah.
Luckily, this table's unlocked, so we just sat down there and did proposition bets.
Oh wait, are all these quarter operated tables?
Yes. So for the
Whoa.
main APA events that you paid an entry fee to ahead of time, they unlock the tables for those. But for minis and the Chinook Wins Open or any practice, you have to go get quarters and pay $1 a rack.
Oh no.
Wild, right?
Oh, that sounds expensive to me.
Well, it's basically what it comes down to is there's no green fee.
Okay.
So you don't pay an extra. What? Yeah. I don't know.
I think for BCA, the league that shall not be named, it's like it's like $30 for your entry fee is like green fee or something.
Yeah, per event.
Yeah.
So
So you really could rack up some money if you're playing all the events.
yeah. So if you do the math on it, you're spending 90 all 3 events at that event, paying 90, $100 or $105 in green fees. So how's that any different than coming here and paying quarters to play in some minis? And if you didn't, well, you pay it up front, so it's already paid for, I guess. You don't have to think about it.
It's like the difference between going up and paying $5 for your beer every time versus $90 at the end of the night.
Or, when you have a mortgage, putting your taxes and insurance into escrow with each payment, as opposed to the end of the month, the end of the year comes and your insurance company and the taxes, and you're like, oh, I forgot to set aside $5,000.
I don't have $6,000.
Oh. Bit of a misfire there.
It's gonna be potentially tricky because the 14's kind of looks like he wants to draw it. Like looking like
if he could
or come out the way
Yeah.
that he's shooting in, like in between those 2 balls.
Yeah, it's funny. The angle doesn't look as steep when I look over at the table. It looks like maybe you could go forward with a little.
It looks like he's going just full inside.
Forward with a little inside, just to make sure you don't get stuck on the 14. Just like that.
Yeah,
that's
pretty good.
Yeah, because on the monitor it looked a little steeper. Like you're gonna have to go back between the 15 and the 8 ball. Otherwise, you were gonna like run into the 8 or something. But yeah, that worked out well.
Looks like
By the way, I didn't really introduce him, but I think you all probably figured out that this is Brookman that has
oh
joined us since we've been talking about him since we realized he was in the parking lot. A good buddy, Brookman Holmes from Portland. Turns out he knows a thing or two about pool.
I like to think I do, but put me up against somebody good and I'll forget it all. Curious what that coaching was for the shot.
Maybe just a speed, like how firmly to try and pop it or hit it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of went, she seemed like she was a little bit above center, like going forward a little bit, which I'm not sure if
I would want to go forward because
there wasn't a whole lot of angle, I guess,
because
to pop out.
the going forward part, like just make sure you get off the rail. Well,
Yeah.
if you play it with just draw or not draw, but like center.
I was about to say, is he going to remember to mark his pocket? Because they already had to remind him once.
But it's difficult. I imagine when he was coaching her on that shot, like how hard it is to tell somebody how hard to hit the ball.
It really is.
Because like it's like so feel based.
Yeah. Well, it's like, hey, on a sliding scale of 1 to 10, I'm like, what does that even mean for somebody to be like,
Mhm.
what's my 1?
Yeah.
What is a 3 compared to like a 7 or a 10, like
Robin Dreyer, he his way to determine speed is um like say a speed of like 1.5 is when you lag the ball and it goes 1.5 table lengths.
all right.
And so every shot that he like teaches you, he could tell you the speed based on how many table lengths
The
shot
cue
is.
ball travels. So
Yeah.
1 would be I lagged it and the cue ball
Just went from one end of the table to the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I was curious about that. I was pretty sure I remember hearing that was how his reference for speed, because I've heard that used elsewhere as well. Because they have the ICA projector over at Nicole and John's, and the first time I was on it, like there's no user manual that was easily
Yeah,
findable.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, what does the speed thing mean that's being projected on the table for this shot?
It's not intuitive in the sense of like when you see it because you're so used to seeing things that are like 1 to 5,
Yeah,
1 to 10. But when you hear it described, then it's like, oh, that's kind of in a way a really good way to measure how hard to hit a ball because it's like an objective amount. It's difficult to hit the ball that much, like, oh, hit it 1 table length, like,
right.
That's hard, but at least gives you the right range.
Yeah. Bethany in the chat says, "What's up, B-man?"
I don't know who that is.
It's Betty,
I know.
the one and only Betty.
I just didn't want to be nice to her.
Yeah. Nicole in the chat also asking if there's minis. There are not yet. There will be later tonight, I'm sure, once more tables open up. As the main tournament dwindles, there'll also be the Tournament of the Gods, the crazy ass thing that they do. They use all the tables here in the middle, and like a bunch of the volunteers get dressed up like Greek gods, in, like, costumes and whatnot, and like they stop the play in the middle and they put cones on the table. It's basically a big gimmick like tournament. So like if you take pool too seriously, it's probably not for you. It's like the type of thing you go play just because it seems ridiculous and you like to have fun.
I've been missing out.
Yeah.
Why have I not come to more of these?
Yeah.
And by more, I mean 1.
Uh-oh. Nicole's asking if they're minis. I didn't even think about the reason she might be asking. Did you lose, Nicole? Are you out of the 5:30 already? Oh, I'm gonna suggest the crying emojis. They're telling me yes. I thought Thought you were going to win the whole thing.
Ouch.
Well, still a little awkward on the 8-ball.
Yeah,
Because
they.
the thing that you could cut it to the right side, but I think what a lot of people would miss is there is a potential if you hit it too thin to ticky off the back of that 14 ball and scratch. So he's just gonna sell it for the bank,
It's
maybe.
Yeah, I could. I mean, that would still be a.
You would,
It would be a more difficult. Well, potentially more difficult scratch, but why risk it?
yeah, when you can just bank out.
Yep.
So that's
Nice bank.
yeah. He banked a ball in the opening, their opening rack because the Lazy Taters had they hung up the 8-ball and the other team just cut it, who just won right now, didn't have an angle for a pocket on their last ball, and he just walked up. All right, so just cut it's going to get that 3-0. Gonna step away for a second while we wait for our next match to be assigned. That should be up real fast, so stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.